We have a new little mini series. It's probably only going to be 2 episodes today and tomorrow, although Trump's next term might actually give us more material. The theme is called Trump versus Trump. We're going to be looking at some of Trump's biggest flip-flops and incongruities. And there's actually not one obvious takeaway from this. When you hear in a moment Trump say one thing about trans bathroom access and then another thing about trans people, is it that he doesn't really have an opinion? Is it that his opinion has changed? Is it that he's willing to just say whatever to whichever group of people he's in front of? What's the reality? And I would submit to you, it kind of doesn't matter. What matters is who does he bamboozle, trick, and grift with these flip-flops, and how does he ultimately actually govern? But let's give some examples. Here is old Trump back in 2016 on trans bathrooms, really making it seem like this is not an issue he cares about. He cares about China, trade, economics, but bathrooms, let people do whatever they want. This is 2016 Trump. Take a listen.
Leave it the way it is right now. There have been very few problems. Leave it the way it is. North Carolina, what they're going through with all of the business that's leaving and all of the strife, and that's on both sides. You leave it the way it is. There have been very few complaints the way it is. People go, they use the bathroom that they feel is appropriate. There has been so little trouble.
Sounds like a different guy, doesn't it?
And the problem with what happened in North Carolina is the strife and the economic punishment that they're taking. So I would say that's probably the best way. Do you have any transgender people working in your organization? I don't know. No? I really don't know. I probably do. I really don't know.
So if Caitlyn Jenner were to walk into Trump Tower and want to use the bathroom, you would be fine with her using any bathroom she chooses?
That is correct.
That is a very different Trump from this guy who seems against inclusive bathrooms, ridicules everything as woke insanity. This is 2024 Trump now.
Subject, I'm not sure it is, but they say it's the most important. Inflation is the most important, but that's part of economy. Kamala Harris wants to be in charge of the entire U.S. economy, but neither she nor her running mate is to do the beauty, isn't he? He signed a bill. He wants tampons in boys' bathrooms. I don't think so. Tampons. But they've never held a private sector job in their entire professional careers, and it's no wonder they're both socialists. They're actually beyond socialists. I think they skipped over socialists. That's why I think when people find out, because you don't know who these people are, I think when people find out who they are, I personally don't think they can do well in the election.
So anyway, we could do 100 clips of 2024 Trump, viciously anti-trans in every single way, making up stories, etc. This is not unique to just trans issues within the LGBT umbrella. Of course, this is Trump way back when, holding up I hope I am saying this correctly, an LGBT flag that says LGBT for Trump on it. This is Trump years and years ago during his 2016 campaign, in fact. And a very, very different situation today, as Trump is reportedly planning to kick trans troops out of the military within days of being inaugurated. That is a very different Donald Trump than the one we saw before. We're actually going to dig more deeply in tomorrow's Trump versus Trump on the issue of Trump on gay marriage, because there's a lot there as well. And then famously, this is one of the biggest ones. Here is Trump calling himself very, very pro-choice, which, by the way, I believe is the real position of Trump.
Here was Donald Trump on the abortion issue when he appeared on Meet the Press with Tim Russert back in '99. Let's watch.
Well, look, I'm very pro-choice. I hate the concept of abortion. I hate it. I hate everything it stands for. I cringe when I listen to people debating the subject. But I just believe in choice. But I am strongly for choice, and yet I hate the concept of abortion.
But you would not ban it?
No.
Finally, for choice.
Very clear. strongly for choice, very pro-choice. I might not do it, but that's not what choice is about. Choice is, should other people be allowed to decide for themselves? Skip to the 2016 campaign where Trump said you have to punish the women who seek an abortion. Wow. He, of course, walked it back the following day.
Well, I have been pro-life.
I know. What should the law? I know your
for a
principle. That's a good value, but what should be the law?
This presidential election is going to be very important because when you say what's the law, nobody knows what the law is going to be. It depends on who gets elected because somebody's going to appoint conservative judges and somebody's going to appoint liberal judges depending on who wins.
I've never understood the pro-life position.
Well,
I never understood it because I understand the principle. It's human life as people see it. But what crime? What crime is it?
Well, it's human life.
No, should the woman be punished for having an abortion?
Look, I would say that it's a very serious problem, and it's a problem that we have to decide on. It's very hard.
But you're for banning
Are you going
it.
to say, well, wait, are you going to say put them in jail? Is that
well,
the
no, what I'm
punishment that
asking
you're
you,
talking about?
because you say you want to ban it. What's that mean?
I am pro-life, yes.
What is ban? How do you ban abortion? How do you actually do it?
Well, you'll go back to a position like they had where people will perhaps go to illegal places.
Yeah.
But you have to ban it.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
10 cents?
Some form for the woman, walking that back the following day. And then finally, here is Trump again later on in his presidency and post-presidency era, saying not only has he switched from being pro-choice to pro-life, he is the most pro-life president in history. Quite a reversal. Quite a reversal. Take a listen.
Strong people, smart people have been fighting for 50 years, and it never even came close to getting done. I don't believe they've ever even taken a vote. I mean, never even came close. It was something that wasn't going to happen. I got it done. I get a kick out of these candidates and even the other side. Well, I don't know. I think I'm more pro-life. I'm this. And somebody stood up, a woman stood up and said, this guy ended Roe v. Wade. How the hell can you go against him? And I sort of said that myself, actually. But I'm proud to be the most pro-life president in American history.
I am proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Now, there are two aspects of this to grapple with, and we're going to do some more of these examples tomorrow, Trump versus Trump. To some degree, does it really matter what Trump's personal, privately held view is on any of these issues if we are really focused on how it affects other people, which means how he governs? Trump's first opinion about trans bathrooms, which is, I don't care, use whatever bathroom you want, versus Trump's second opinion about ridiculing so-called tampons in boys' bathrooms and attacking people in all the ways that he does, riling up the bloodthirsty anti-trans crowds at his rallies and this sort of thing. Does it matter which is the real one? On a personal level, it doesn't really. What does matter is how he would govern. And we know that he's elicited these anti-trans reactions from people by his new points of view. These really are his cult followers. If Trump said, listen, guys and gals, I'm going to make the economy work for you. I don't care what bathrooms people use. Forget about it. It's just not an issue. Just forget about it. I'm going to put money in your pocket. You're not going to care who's in the bathroom if I put money in your pocket. His cult would mostly go along with it. Okay, so whatever Trump's real view is, fine. It doesn't matter, but it does matter that he riles people up with this stuff. Same thing with the abortion thing. If I am honest, I think that Trump's probably still pro-choice. He's been pro-choice, 68 years? And then in year 69, he became against abortion, and now he calls himself the most pro-life president. I struggle to believe that his views really have changed, other than as a matter of political expediency. But does it matter? He got Roe v. Wade overturned. Even if he still is pro-choice personally, it doesn't really matter because he did choose Supreme Court justices that ultimately got Roe v. Wade overturned. So tomorrow, we're going to look more deeply at some of these other issues with Trump versus Trump, gun safety regulations, and others. Those who follow me on social media may be familiar with my dad's dog, Nemo Pacman. Like me, Nemo Pacman has no middle name. And that's why I love our sponsor, Ollie. It's clean, fresh nutrition for your dog in 5 flavors your dog will love. You don't need to be a veterinary nutritionist to know that feeding your dog real whole foods with minimal processing is one of the best choices for their health. No harmful fillers, preservatives. Ollie is made in the US in American kitchens using ingredients sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world. You fill out Ollie's 30-second quiz. They'll do a customized meal plan based on your dog's weight, activity level, and other health considerations. For first-time customers, Ollie sends your dog's first box with 2 weeks of meals and a guide for switching them gradually to the new food. Ollie offers 3 plans to choose from. There's the Fresh Plan, the Fresh Topper Plan, or the Mixed Plan. Right now, you'll get 60% off your first box when you go to ollie.com and enter the code PACMAN. They even offer a clean bowl guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied with the first box, you get your money back. The link is in the description.